The Kill Room is a dark comedy about a hitman teaming up with an art dealer, which accidentally turns him into a famous artist. Was the premise done well, or does it just fall short? So in this movie, Joe Manganiello plays a hitman referred to as the Bagman, or Reggie. He and his boss, Gordon, played by Samuel L. Jackson, decide that they need a new money laundering front for the money that they're making off of hits. They turn to a pretentious art gallery owner named Patrice, played by Uma Thurman. With her business failing, she agrees to launder their money for a cut, while remaining ignorant of how exactly they're making that money. So the scheme works like this. The Bagman makes a hit, Gordon passes the money over to Patrice. Patrice then proceeds to write a very large and clean check to Gordon for some very fine art. But in order for this to work, Patrice claims that she actually needs to have pieces of art to show for these transactions. So Reggie, the Bagman, starts whipping up some paintings that he does seem to pour actually a lot of expression into. These paintings end up making for a killing in the fine art world, making the Bagman the talk of the town as the hottest new up-and-coming artist. So I like the cast here, though I almost feel like Uma Thurman could have easily have been cast as one of the other asshole art dealers who weren't the main character. I also really liked the premise of the film. I thought that the whole premise of art world meets underworld was a really cool idea. Unfortunately, it felt like everything about Patrice's life and the fine art community felt very unrelatable because it's a very niche culture that most of us don't know anything about. I don't think that would be a problem if that culture was at least interesting, but I personally wouldn't say that it was. My strongest opinion about this is that I think they should have leaned a lot harder into the fish out of water tropes that were at least present in the movie. Like they could have showed us more culture shock from the scumbag street guy entering the snooty fine art world, or from the pretentious gallery owner getting mixed in with a life of crime. I feel like every interesting trope in this movie was just very underutilized. I really think they should have put more eggs in at least some of those baskets. And for a movie about an upstanding citizen getting mixed in with a life of crime, I really just feel like there was a lack of stress around that. There wasn't really any suspense in this movie. I think there could have been at least some suspense around potentially getting caught, but I would not say that there was, and that just felt like a seriously missed opportunity. There was one scene in the third act of the movie that I thought was suspenseful, but it was very brief and strange, and I'm honestly very confused by it. For most of the film, I just don't really know what it was about. We see Patrice attempt to go back up the ranks, but I wouldn't say that the film had a very clear direction that it was going in or a clear event that it was looking to culminate with. With the movie being an hour and 38 minutes, I do really think they could have added in another 20 minutes of anything, like diverting a detective or pushing the Bagman further into the limelight, or this gritty New Yorker's presence in this snooty culture being a bit more jarring. I came out of this movie feeling like it was just unfinished. It felt like every interesting trope in this movie was not explored to its fullest potential. All that said, I really do think that it's fine. It's not bad by any means, it just wasn't really thrilling or tense, which just leaves me confused about what sort of feelings they were trying to evoke in the viewers. I really appreciate you taking the time to watch this video. If it brought you any insight at all, please consider giving it a thumbs up. It really does help the channel grow. I'll be back later this week with my review of The Creator.